Hello everyone, and welcome to our next video. So in the previous video we implemented this duplicated email error, and I'm still not very satisfied with this name, so I'm just gonna write here rethink name, right? Naming. Good, because then if I want to change this later on I can. But what I was thinking is that if I look at my user model and I go to the file user.ts, that's a problem. Not a problem, but I'm still throwing a new general error, right? So I would like to have this as a custom error, so the duplicated email error that we just implemented. So if I look here at the signup route, I throw a new duplicated error, that's fine. But in our tests, we are still treating this as a very general error. So let's change our tests, and the first thing I want to do is I want to expect this error or error. Let me see if I have the to be instance of exactly. I want it to be instance of a base custom error. If it's not instance of the base custom error, and here I'm importing it directly from the file because I'm not exporting the base custom error from the index file. So this should make our tests fail, right? This should make our tests fail. Let's see what's gonna tell us. Exactly, so our tests are failing. And the interesting part is that it tells us exactly what is failing. It's telling us the constructor is not the same. So we will come here to the user and we will simply say throw a new duplicated email. So this is imported from this, and I want to import it from just /errors to make the code a little bit cleaner. Now our test should pass except for the message. Yeah, the message is still wrong. And then let's try something here. So what is interesting is that if I look at this err.message and I'm setting this to equal email is already in the database, right? And here I'm going to make this pass. But just to show you one thing, this test has nothing to do with our serialized error. So if I come to the duplicated email, this is only because this equals the message that we are passing to the super constructor. If I change this message here, then the test is going to start to fail. Exactly. So now it starts to fail and says that the message is different. So what I want to do is I don't want to really test the generic message that I'm passing to the constructor. I want to test the serialized version of my error. And then here, for the sake of, let's say for the sake of completeness, let's name this as a duplicated email, right? So my error is going to have a duplicated email or a undefined. I think that this should be enough for us to have most of the things passing, right? So what I want to do here as well is I want to have a const, the serialized error output, and this is going to be my err dot serialize error output. And this shorthand here is going to account for the fact that err may be undefined, but actually I want to make this explicit. I don't like the shorthand because not everyone understands what it does. So if err, then I will have err dot serialize error output. Otherwise I'm going to have just undefined, and I would expect, right? I would expect the serialized error output dot to be defined, and I would also expect the serialized error output dot errors. And here I think that we will have to have this in case, yeah, here I think that the question mark will have to be necessary, because if I remove this, then jest will still complain, right? So here maybe if I passed null or something, then it would could stop complaining, but this is not really the best way to proceed. So here let's account for it, because we would expect this to be defined. And the error, so I would like to have my first message, and just to make it clear, this is coming because of this undefined here at the top, right? And this because I am defining this as an undefined, because the catch clause may not happen. Here we know that it will happen, and we are expecting it to happen, and if it doesn't happen, the test will fail. But in a more general scenario, this could not, or could be the case that this doesn't happen. So the serialized error output dot errors 0 dot message dot to equal, and then my message here. And this should be enough to make our tests pass. Exactly. So we did just a little bit of adjustment here. Now we throw the same error, right? We throw new duplicated email from within the user model, and we also throw the same error from the signup route. So if we come here to the tests in the signup route, I think that, where do we test this duplicated error? I think in this case we just test the response that we get from the signup route, and that's fine for me. I don't think that we need to worry too much about this at the moment. Maybe when we start working with the output and the error handling part within outside services, maybe we'll see that we need to change this. But for the moment, if we go to our error handler middleware, then we see that we are just sending the status, right? So maybe here an even better approach would be to set the status as the error code, and then to set the send to be the error dot serialize error output. So this is a more complete approach. Maybe this is not gonna make any of our tests fail, I think, but it's just nice change. I mean, maybe we can even do that here. So then, for the sake of completeness, let's get our response here, and this is missing, and I would then expect my response dot body. I don't remember how the response dot body looks like, but I think that this would be response.body.errors 0.message to equal, and then the message from within the duplicated email error. I don't remember if that's the structure. Let's check this. Right, so I'll just write this like this. I don't remember if this error is here, but I think that this will be in the body of our response. Yes, exactly. So that's just an additional test for us to have a little bit more confidence on our signup route. Okay, for the next video, so I promised in the previous video that in this video we would make better communication, but I noticed that we were still lacking a few things in our error handling. So most importantly, that we were still throwing a generic error here inside of our user schema. And we could also do a few updates to the signup test so that we have a more precise test here. So I decided to do this in this video, and for now I think that we can stop here. Let me run prettier and then fix. And here I will run lint. Everything is in order. And here I'll say refactor of improve error in user model and signup route. Something very simple. Let all the tests run, and we will then advance to our better way of handling our response. Good. I'm pushing this to the remote repo. I add the link to the commit, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.